Welcome to Breaking Ground, Women in AEC Leadership Podcast. This is a show that lifts the voices, journeys, and insights of women shaping the future of architecture, engineering, and construction. And it's brought to you today by Unanet. Unanet delivers expert project-based ERP solutions, CRM solutions, and an AI growth suite specifically designed for AEC firms. At our core, we believe that a strong, diverse workforce drives innovation and success, and that women are essential to building the future of AEC. I'm your guest host, Alex Goby. In each episode, we connect with professionals across the AEC industry to share real stories and hard-earned wisdom. This is more than a conversation. It's a community focused on growth and lasting impact. Let's get started. Today, I'm speaking here at Champions 2026 Conference here in beautiful San Diego, and with me is Carolyn Campot. Carolyn is Vice President of Marketing and Client Development at Bond Brothers, where she leads growth strategy and client engagement across a complex construction portfolio. She studied leadership at Boston College Carroll of Management and attended Bloomsburg University of Pennsylvania, supporting a career in marketing and business development leadership. Her experience reflects a strong track record of driving pipeline growth and aligning marketing efforts with revenue generation. We're excited to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's great to have you today. And just to get started for our listeners, tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about Bond Brothers as well.
Okay. So I've been in the industry, construction industry now for 28 years. It has been quite the journey. I started my career in entertainment and sports marketing. At one point, I worked for the heavyweight champion of the world. And I worked for a speaker and lecture agency that I booked high-profile business, motivational, political, athlete speakers at conferences across the country, just like this. So,
okay, I want to learn about the pivot. I'm really interested in that.
There was a pivot. I moved into construction. I'm with Bond today. We have hit $1 billion last year in 2025, and we are a two subsidiary structured company where one side focuses on the vertical construction and the other is more on the horizontal. So utility work versus building. Okay. I have most of my experience on the building side.
The building side, yeah.
Yes.
So, sports marketing and entertainment, every young professional's dream job. You started in that. Tell us a little bit about that experience and then the shift that happened.
Yes, absolutely. So my dream was, my brother was a professional athlete. He played Major League Baseball. And I think sports was just in the blood. Our vacations revolved around baseball schedules. So sports has always been there. When I knew it was time to go to work, I wanted to work in the sports marketing field. Somehow, and I wanted to live in Washington, D.C. That was very important to me. I don't know why, but I found a job. I found a job working for a sports marketing agency where our top client was the heavyweight champion of the world at the time, Riddick Bowe. Dream job. I was the woman that was in the boxing ring. I was the one when they're holding the title belt. I was the one knocking on the door saying 5 minutes to fight, and I was traveling all over the world, Las Vegas, Europe, New York. So it was really fun to be 22, 23 years old in this world. But it wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it was going to be.
That's so interesting. And so how did you notice that it wasn't filling your bucket?
There was a time I was going to make a move. I decided Washington, D.C., being not in the political side of D.C., is a challenge. So I decided, all right, I'm going to take this next move to Boston, Massachusetts. And I landed a job at a company that was that transition until I got settled. Maybe I was going to try to find something else, but I had a great job working in marketing for a construction company, and I fell in love. The the clients, the work that we do, the work that our clients do is life-changing. It's global global changing. There's so much impact that many of the clients that we work with have. You just couldn't help but be fulfilled. It's very meaningful work.
Yeah.
And I loved that. I loved that.
So, reflecting around a lot of women just starting their careers, they might have a dream job. They're like, that's what I want to do. Any lesson from pursuing your dream job, but then pivoting, and that you might want to share for those women?
Absolutely. I would tell anyone starting their career to be open. I feel like the first 5 years of my career, I spent learning, adjusting, taking the opportunities that came my way and really filtering them out to find out, what do I like? What don't I really like? I knew marketing was something, communications, maybe not finance so much. So take that opportunity to filter your experiences and continue to change, and do not be afraid to shift. Do not be afraid.
That's a big, and we have one rich life.
Absolutely.
Right? And we're going to meander through different careers, and then we're going to connect the dots and bring everything together. And I'm sure there's things from those early years that you still go back on and said you learned this kind of a leadership skill, even in those early years, that are even applicable today. Okay.
Yes, if I can be very candid, I'll say the biggest takeaway in my career was that first job that I had in boxing. The woman that I worked with owned the company. She owned the largest library of boxing footage in the world.
Wow.
And everything I took away from that job was what I did not want to be in a leader. So while it was a very cool job and the experiences were incredible, the person that I worked with showed me something so valuable to me in my life that I knew the kind of leader that I wanted to be. And that set me on a track at a very early age on how to work with people, how to engage with them, how to trust them, how to educate them, how to mentor them. And it's funny how you have to take something that maybe was a negative and really spin it into the positive.
Like, this is what I don't want to be, and this is therefore what I do.
I think a lot of times you learn more from the things that don't work than you do necessarily from the things that are working. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Any particular, tip, lesson, mindset shift from any of those years, right?
Yeah.
That you think about, that you just fall back on regularly as part of your leadership practices, whether it's as I said, a framework, a mindset shift, a behavior?
One person that I worked with in my career once said to me, always tell the truth. You never have to remember a lie. Don't you find yourself, if you get down a path, you've told one fib, then it leads to another, and it leads to another. Own your mistakes. Mistakes are some of the places where you grow the most and where you learn and you find that next opportunity. It's okay to be vulnerable at times.
Absolutely.
I encourage people to make the mistakes, ask the questions. Just don't try to cover it up, if you will. Just
be vulnerable.
Be vulnerable.
Be authentic,
yes,
right?
Especially authenticity is so important to me.
Yeah. No, there's an acronym that I reflect on. It's FAIL, his first attempt in learning. So as a leader as well, I love to encourage my teams to experiment and go out there, because when you're trying things and experimenting, and when something goes wrong, that's when you're going to learn.
That's right.
And that's going to be a life lesson versus when everything's going perfectly and smooth.
I think some of the best leaders admit to their mistakes, and you learn from them. Yeah. So it's
and it
really
invites those around you not to put you on a pedestal, but to see like they too can become a leader.
Yes.
Awesome. Great. So let's shift. We're here, 2026. Yeah. We're not going to have a conversation without talking about AI.
Right.
So I'd like to know, in the last couple of months, is there any particular use case, whether professionally or personally, where you've experienced AI magic?
Yes. I think AI magic, we call AI our free employee at the office, right? It's that extra layer of the simple AI. That's your ChatGPTs, your Claudes, your Gemini. And I use it every day. It's a great thought starter sometimes, I think, or even thought developer that just prompts you to really engage yourself in your own creativity. But on a more personal level, I have a use case most recently that I am so grateful. I do not have a green thumb. Ironically, I live on a farm. I have a beautiful greenhouse that I don't know how to use. And it's time to engage, really start to try to put myself into this green thumb, floral landscaping type of environment. So I thought, I'm going to ask Chad if it could help me develop a gardening plan for my front and my side of my house. And I took a picture of the house, both sides, uploaded it, told it where I live, what my favorite flowers are, and asked it to build me out a plan, a landscaping plan. And what it came back with was outstanding. Tells you how to water, where to put it, the rows, and I can't wait to plant
That's
it all
amazing.
this spring.
That's the way. I actually think AI, I'm an optimist.
Yeah.
And I think AI is gonna get us to that, through that first hard part,
Yes.
to start experimenting and doing new things.
Yes.
I too use it as a thought partner, and it helps me think of new ideas or new ways to frame things that I wouldn't have come up with myself.
Right.
And like in your case as well, is like it'll encourage you, like you too can grow a green thumb.
I
and,
can. I can use
help, you know.
I can use that greenhouse that I have. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Oh, that's great. Any other, we talked a little bit earlier at lunch. I had a little bit of an advantage. And your career started, in sports marketing, construction, but you also took another pivot.
I did.
So tell us a little bit about that pivot.
So my husband and I owned a construction company, and in 2009, when I was pregnant with my twins, we sold the company. And it gave me an opportunity to take some time off. And I thought, I'm going to leave the construction industry behind. And I ended up following another passion of mine, which is fashion and styling. So I opened a styling and consulting business with another woman. And that's our mission was to create life-changing confidence for women through personal style. Many women at a certain point in their life have focused their energies on their families. Yep. And you were not the same person you were in your 20s, even your early 30s, and in your 40s and beyond. So we specialized on women that were at a certain age. 35 and older was our sweet spot. And it was the first time that we started working with women who were ready to start to focus on themselves. For years it was, let me get my kids clothes, let me get my husband taken care of, let me do this. And now that they don't even know who they are. So we worked with women to help rediscover themselves through personal style, through a style mantra that we would work with them to create, and helping them to understand what their what's the word I'm trying to use? Sorry, I don't know why I'm thinking of, can't get the word, but yeah. But it's like your aesthetic, your aesthetic. So I look at myself as a more polished, but there are some women that are more feminine, some that lean a little bit more maverick. And we created a whole bunch of style personalities that would go along with who you are.
So you were sharing that it's a rule of three. Each woman, you work with them to find their, I think you use the word mantra.
Your style mantra.
Your style mantra.
3 words, and you should never leave the house without being at least 2 of those. You should feel 2 of those every day when you get dressed. Otherwise, you're not going to feel comfortable being out there and being your best self.
Your best self. I love that. And
yes.
So for those of you who are just listening and are not watching this, Carolyn is incredibly styled today.
Thank you.
Very on brand for Unanet as well. So thank you for that. But tell us, what are your 3 style mantras?
So my style mantra is luxurious, authentic, and bold. bold meaning I like color. I like patterns. I like to be maybe recognized.
Yeah.
I do like nicer things. I like to invest in my pieces, and I know that they last longer. But that all has to be blended into me still being my authentic self. I can't be something, I don't want to portray something that I'm not.
Which I love. We're getting back to that authenticity. Word, right? And I love that our listeners and our viewers are getting style tips from you.
Yes,
right? That
right.
is such a great gift. And you know why I find it interesting is, let's go back to that word of confidence, right? At any age, we as women tend to lack self-confidence. We are very critical of ourselves. We put ourselves down. And so I think it's such an impact by choosing whatever way works, and your clothes, how you feel, is so important to helping a woman build that confidence and doing so authentically. So I love that part of your story.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm getting a sign that we are going to be wrapping up. Even the sessions are starting here. So again, I just want to thank you so much. I'm going to find here my outro, which I'm finding in a second. All right. So thank you, Carolyn, so much for spending some time with us today. I'm really so grateful for the conversation. And listeners, if today's episodes resonate with you, be sure to follow and leave a review or share it with someone in your network that could be impacted by breaking ground. So as always, keep breaking new ground. Thank you so much.